Hey everybody, I'm here with Jamie on the left and Afton on the right, and they are working on very little sleep after being on the road to rescue those bobcats from the Mobile Zoo, and my phone keeps going Wampus here. But they had some really interesting stories that didn't actually make it onto the news, so I thought you guys might want to hear what happened behind the scenes. Get a little closer to each other.
I have my personal zone of comfort though.
We've already spent a lot of time in the car, side by side.
Okay. One thing that happened was a peacock, when we first got there, was attacking the bumper of the truck because it was very shiny, and peacocks don't like other males that they think are more attractive or the same attractiveness as them.
I was gonna say.
He was like, "You're pretty handsome. I'm gonna beat you up." So we just kept. It sounded like somebody hitting our truck with a hammer.
Yeah.
And we had other things to deal with, but we figured out somewhere midway, we had some sheets in the car, so we covered the truck with sheets and put all of our boots on top to hold
shoes
the sheet.
and boots like a log and keeping the sheet in place. Although at one point he did move the sheet over and there was like a piece and he was like, "Oh, that guy again." And so he starts like attacking the car.
Were you guys sleeping in the car? What was going on that you were...
Sheets to cover the cages.
But how was this peacock attacking the car for so long? What were you
Because
guys
we
doing?
were
This was
trying
at
to
the
get
rescue
bobcats.
site.
Yeah.
So
They had lots of peacocks. They were
Dozens.
everywhere. And as soon as we pulled up, because we used to have peacocks, I heard one calling out, and this was before we entered the property, and I looked at Laura and I was like, "Peacocks. They have peacocks." But then when we decided to cover our car completely, he moved on to the animal welfare people's truck and was attacking that one.
yeah. You could just hear every 5 minutes, bam, bam.
Peacocks everywhere.
Yeah.
And then we thought we'd be back around 8. We didn't realize until on our way there was a time change at some point. So it was exciting that like, ooh, we're getting there an hour earlier. And then we're like, oh man, we're getting there an hour later than we'd expect because of the time change. And then we always have to stop at the agricultural inspection buildings. And the first one, Jamie came, they want to look in the trailer. Okay, so she gets the keys. And like she grabs the keys, she goes, "There's a lot of bees out here." And I was like, "Oh, like bees? Okay." And then she's like, "I need my ID." So she comes back, she's like, "I think there's more bees." And I was like, "Let's put the window up." So I like climb over and I'm like putting her window up. And then she's like, "Okay, I gotta open the trailer now." And then we kind of need help with the trailer door. I got out, and when she said there were a lot of bees, I didn't think that there was gonna be that many bees, but like hundreds of bees.
Yeah. They
Hundreds
were
of
swarming.
bees.
I think they were maybe attracted to the bright colors of our trailer. Like,
And they liked
flowers.
the tires of the trailer,
Yeah.
but they liked the trailer, so we just opened the door like, "Can you peek in from here? Because we don't want to let the bees in stuck with these bobcats."
Wow.
Apparently it was the biggest day of the month, I think, that bees come in and out from like other
California
states.
or something.
Yeah. So
They have like a time window that they have to transport bees, because we actually passed a semi on the road.
So
and I
they're
saw-
hauling them in semis?
yeah, and they're not in a box. They're just all the wooden bee crates are just stacked on
with
the back
like
of a flatbed.
screens over them.
Yeah.
Because when we passed by the semi, I was like, "There are like bugs moving in that thing," and I was like, "What's in there?" I was like, "Those are all bees." Like that's probably the bees that we saw.
So yeah, they wanted to look in the back, and there's just bees everywhere. I'm like, can I just crack it open? I don't want to like open it and then all the bees go inside with the bobcats.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, I don't really like bees either. They're like, "Oh, they won't even bother you," and I'm just like dodging bee after bee. Like, okay, we're good, right? Can we just keep going?
Oh gosh.
What were the conditions there?
I mean, they're pretty typical of a small roadside zoo, like chain link cages, really short.
Really short.
Lots.
For tall people.
Yeah. We were like trying to catch the bobcat.
And the
like
nets,
this.
we couldn't even stand the nets up and down. It was short, so it was like trying to finagle your net, like with it not fitting high enough.
The chain link wasn't tacked down
Oh
very
my
well,
gosh.
so like only about every maybe 2.5 feet there it was tied down, so you could pull it up. It was very loose.
And she actually had to hog ring the ceiling chain link back to the side because there was like a decent gap. They probably could have gotten out if they
Yeah.
thought about it.
Wow.
Yeah. It was definitely not clean for months and months. There was poop everywhere, bones, spinal columns of animals.
Spinal column of an animal.
It was so gross.
There's some dog food in there. I don't know if that's what they were trying to feed them.
Like wet food?
No,
No,
just dry kibble all over the floor.
All over the floor.
And but they had chicken quarters too that morning.
Yeah, because I don't know who would put those in there. I don't know. Because when we pulled up, they're like, the bobcats are in there, and one of them had a big chicken quarter in his mouth and was just like patrolling the neighborhood.
And Jamie told them, don't feed them the day before and make it easier for us to catch them. And what do? They throw
Well,
them chicken quarters.
Well, it was. I don't think they had any say because it was a surprise seizure, so they didn't go in the day before and say, "Don't feed your animals." I'm not going to tell you why, but yeah. And there was no safety entrance on the cage, so luckily we take wire with us and we're able to build one. The keeper was trying to convince us that they won't go out.
No, just
I was like, no thanks.
Take your stuff in.
I am not going to be on the news for big rescue let a bobcat out in a t-shirt today. No thanks.
So you had all the tools and everything to build a safety entrance?
Yep.
Built a safety entrance.
Finagled one.
Big enough for 4 people?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
One at a time.
Yeah, I went in with a carrier by myself, and then Alyssa and Lauren went in with a carrier by themselves. And they told us that their door only opened
after we
into our safety gate we made. And Jimmy's like, "Oh no, it doesn't!" Like lifted up the top and pushed it the other way. We're like, "Oh, that works."
I'm like, this has got to go the other way.
There would be no way to get people or a carrier in there and open the door because we were already in like a really, really tight spot.
Yeah, and so then once we were all in there with all our stuff and our people and the bobcats, there really wasn't much space left, and we just had to pick one and decide to net
tripping
it.
over logs, and I just like pick it up and throw it somewhere. Yeah, we're fine. Let's go.
So we're netting Lakota, and meanwhile Sue is like jumping over our heads, like running around the enclosure. Like,
what's it like to net a 4-year-old?
They're pretty fast.
They're active. Yeah, very active. And we didn't know if they were clawed or not. And we now, yes, they are fully clawed. Yes.
You saw them? I
Yeah.
really saw for sure.
In the nets, they were like clinging on to the nets. But so it was like our plan was kind of like, let's try and just kind of get them both netted and we'll go from there. And it turned out to 4 of us trying to net just one because they were like bouncing all over the place and then trying to watch your back for the other one.
Meanwhile, like we get the first one netted, and I look up, and there's like every authority on the property videotaping us
with their phones. I'm like, oh, because when we first went in, they both like it's like you want to concentrate on getting one, but when they're both running everywhere, we're like trying to figure out like let's just pick one, the big one, let's do that one.
Alyssa and Lauren, I think, were kind of like taking a back seat at first. They were like behind us, and I was like, no, like if it goes near you, put a net on it. Like everybody's fair game here. Everybody can net the cat.
So Alyssa actually did net the first one, and you were the top net, and then you netted the second one.
First netting.
Yeah, she's been in there like blocking a den if we went in or something, but not actually catching the actual animal.
That's a thrill.
So her and Alyssa caught the first one, then her and I caught the second one. They were so fast, and it's like we wanted to kind of like. We created like a little barricade, but they didn't care about that. They were jumping through us, and it was like, oh man.
And people are asking who you are that have just signed on. So that's Jamie, and that is Afton. Jamie's my daughter, our vice president, married to our vet. Afton is our film crew.
Yeah, film
the entire crew.
So I was doing all kinds of filming. I started with the big camera. And then when it got time to go to work, I just strapped on a head camera. I have footage on my phone, 2 other cameras. Like, it's everywhere. Wherever I could just get a camera out of some sort, I was filming something.
And people are asking if there were other animals there, if there's any animals left behind.
Yeah. There was a really sweet pig. We were trying to feed fruit, too.
We're making friends with all the animals there.
Kind of. There was ostrich that they were interestingly moving with like a cage that wasn't stationary, so they just would pick it up and were walking this ostrich that was probably like 4 feet taller than they were. Wow. So they just pick up the cage, 4 people, and
like with no floor in the bottom. So
Yeah,
he's just walking on the ground.
Yep, and they're just walking a cage around him, and then he would stop for a break, so they'd set the cage down and give him a second, and then they're like, all right, Fred, let's go.
I didn't see how they got him in the trailer or where.
I didn't see that, because they walked towards the bear side. There was, well, yes, definitely tons of peacocks. There was a rooster that they wanted caught, because I tried to help them catch that, but he didn't like me and my net. And then
they're wily.
there was a big swan that was there, a big white swan. And we saw, I think, was there 3 bears? Because I only saw 2 bears. They were sedated, and they had a rescue crew taking them out at the same time we were dealing with the bobcats.
And the bears were going to Wild Animal Sanctuary in Colorado, if you guys are interested. We had talked to Pat Craig because originally they were going to send all of the animals out to Colorado. And we have so many empty little cat cages because so many of our bobcats from back in 1993, 94, and 95 are now in their 20s or mid-20s and have passed away. And so I said, we've got lots of space for the little cats. And he said, well, fine, if you can get the people to work with you, go right ahead. And so the Mobile Animal Control was responsive and helped us get permits and health certificates. You guys had to wait a while for that.
Yeah,
I understand.
it took a while for the vet to show up. But
and then he had to call like the state and get a certificate number, and it was very complicated.
But everybody was really nice to work with, and they
Yeah.
kind of just gave us our space and let us do our thing, besides the amount of people that were filming us trying to actually get that.
They want to see somebody get killed by a bobcat. And there was another cat that was supposed to be picked up. It was a serval, but unfortunately the owner was trying to sell the serval, and we were told that he had spirited the cat off the property to his veterinarian in Mississippi. I don't know why an Alabama facility has their vet in Mississippi. You wouldn't think they could practice veterinary medicine across state lines like that.
No.
But apparently that's where he's hiding his serval, and
They don't have jurisdiction there, so they can't do anything about it.
That's a shame. God only knows what kind of condition that cat's being kept in. Probably some crate in some noisy dog barking veterinary clinic.
But yeah, the place in general is just really, it just looked abandoned. It was overgrown, all the cages were in disrepair.
Yeah.
It just looked like an abandoned
It was
facility.
like, you guys closed down, and like the office, like the paperwork just like, whoosh, all right, I'm out of here. Like, it was very, very abandoned. Like you're in some like sketchy abandoned town. You woke up and everybody was gone. Because we're walking around, we're like, this is really creepy.
It was. And then you don't know, like, there was a barn that had reptiles and stuff in it, and you don't know if all the animals did get placed elsewhere, or if there's a python running around. Like,
Yeah, don't know.
Yeah.
Because that does happen a lot, where they just turn animals loose that they think might be able to survive.
Because some of the safety gates, well, not safety gates, but what we would call a barricade to get to the cage had locks on them. So it's like, I don't know if anybody's even been back there or.
I think that was maybe because they didn't have a perimeter fence. So they had like these tall perimeter fences around the cages. And so they didn't have like a short barricade that you look through to see the
Yeah,
animals. It was like a tall fence
tall.
the same size as the cage almost.
Huh.
Yeah.
And people are asking if they can buy that sweatshirt with the Big Cat Rescue logo. Do we have those
I think
available?
we have those on
Minus
online.
the staff.
Minus the staff, yeah.
Yeah, you can't have that part. And I'm glad you asked that about the t-shirt, because Jamie made some really cool bobcat designs that says, I help rescue bobcats, to help us fund this rescue. So if you guys go to bigcatrescue.biz, B-I-Z, bigcatrescue.biz, and just type in the search bar, I help rescue bobcats, you'll find 2 new t-shirt designs and a new cup, a new mug with, I think, Nabisco on it, and a bobcat plushie, and there was one other item, a magnet that says I help rescue bobcats. So there's something for everybody there, and that helps us fund these kinds of rescues. Helps buy you guys some Big Macs on the road.
Yeah.
It was funny after we left, like I think everybody fell asleep for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like all that adrenaline.
Adrenaline, right.
And then you crash.
'Cause
Well, yeah,
We were there.
hopefully the driver did not fall asleep for a while.
no, anxious, and then like you're kind of nervous because you're not really sure you're in a cage with 2 bobcats and you don't know these bobcats. It's different if like we have to net one of our cats. At least we know what they're like. But this
We
was
know they're
like,
toothless because they're 20 years old.
but this is like, hey, here's some young bobcats, go catch them. So it was like, we looked confident on the outside, but as soon as it was done, they were in the carriers. Everybody's hands were like shaky. Like, what just happened? I like blacked out. I went into work mode.
Yep.
Got them in. It was like, whoa.
Well, nice work, ladies.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will check in on those cats later.